Ever wonder what true equality looks like, even in unexpected places? Does the right to equal treatment extend to situations we may not expect, like physical confrontations? Today, we're diving into the viral phenomenon of equal rights, equal lefts, where some guys are no longer backing down when things get heated. Across the internet, countless videos have sparked debates about equality, fairness, and the concept of accountability. We're looking at stories where equal rights, equal lefts came to life in intense, often unexpected ways. Let's get into it. Scenario 1. The college slap heard around the world. To start, let's rewind to one of the most famous examples of this concept in action, one that started on a college campus and ended up on screens worldwide. In this scenario, a woman, visibly upset, slapped a male classmate in the middle of a heated argument. She was expecting a shocked retreat, maybe an apology, but instead, the guy didn't back down. To everyone's surprise, he slapped back with equal force. The video spread like wildfire. People were glued to the screen, not because it was a slap, but because of what it meant. Was this the ultimate expression of equal rights? Or did it cross a line? Social media buzzed with people divided on whether the reaction was justified. One comment read, "If you're ready to hit, you better be ready to get hit back." It was a moment that ignited discussions about gender, accountability, and even fairness. Suddenly, people everywhere were asking, is equality about standing on equal ground in all situations, or are there boundaries we still respect? Scenario 2. Viral incident at a nightclub confrontation. Let's talk about another case. This time, it was a nightclub, a setting where tensions are already high, and boundaries often blur. In this instance, a woman pushed a man aggressively after an argument, and he instinctively pushed her back to create space. It wasn't a punch, but the force still startled her. The moment, caught on someone's phone, went viral. Many viewers felt she'd crossed a line first and had to face the consequence of her actions. Others argued that while she started it, his response wasn't necessary. Some asked, why didn't he just walk away? It's an example of how complex these situations become in seconds. The crowd's reaction captured the social divide, with some cheering for his stance, while others called it an overstep. The clip raises a bigger question. Does standing up for oneself mean ignoring societal expectations of restraint? Or does it push forward the idea that both genders bear equal responsibility in tense situations? Scenario 3. Commotion breaks in broad daylight in the streets. Imagine this. It's a typical afternoon in the city. The sun is shining, and the streets are alive with the hum of daily life. Suddenly, a commotion breaks the routine. A woman is seen aggressively confronting a man, her voice rising above the crowd. She shoves him, her words laced with anger. The man, visibly uncomfortable, tries to de-escalate, raising his hands in a placating gesture, but she persists, her aggression escalating. Now here's the pivotal moment. The man, after enduring repeated provocation, decides to defend himself. He pushes back, not with excessive force, but enough to create distance. The crowd's reaction is immediate. Gasps fill the air, and murmurs ripple through the onlookers. Some pull out their phones, capturing the incident, while others step forward, expressions of shock and disapproval on their faces. This scenario, while hypothetical, mirrors countless real-life incidents that have been captured and shared across social media platforms. Videos titled "Equal Rights, Equal Lefts" have garnered millions of views, igniting debates about gender, self-defense, and societal expectations. In these videos, we often see a woman initiating physical aggression, and when the man retaliates, the reactions are polarized. Some viewers argue that self-defense is a fundamental right, regardless of gender. Others contend that men, due to their typically greater physical strength, should exercise restraint even in the face of provocation. One commenter writes, Equality means equal accountability. If you throw a punch, expect one back. Another counters, men should never hit women, no matter the circumstance. It's about maintaining moral high ground. These perspectives highlight a complex web of societal norms and expectations. On one hand, the principle of equality suggests that actions have consequences, irrespective of gender. On the other hand, deeply ingrained cultural beliefs advocate for men to protect, not harm, women, even when faced with aggression. Dr. Jane Smith, a sociologist specializing in gender studies, explains, "Our society has long upheld the notion of chivalry, where men are expected to be protectors. This becomes problematic when it intersects with the principle of equality, leading to conflicting expectations." Let's pause and consider the broader implications. If we advocate for equal rights, does that inherently include equal responsibilities and consequences? And how do we reconcile this with the moral and ethical standards that discourage violence, especially against women? The feminist movement has long championed for equal treatment, opportunities, and respect. Central to this is the rejection of violence and the promotion of understanding and dialogue. Yet, the reality is that violence and aggression are present in all facets of society, transcending gender. The challenge lies in addressing these behaviors without perpetuating double standards. Equal rights, equal reactions. The influencer's take. This brings us to the realm of social influencers who have latched onto the concept. One influencer, known for his strong opinions on fairness and accountability, made a bold statement online. If you're going to hit someone, you have to expect they might hit back, regardless of gender. He argued that the equal rights, equal lefts idea isn't about promoting violence. It's about stopping a double standard that says one gender is free to be physical without consequences. Comments flooded in, supporting and opposing his view. Some felt his stance ignored the potential for escalation, while others believed his position promoted a balanced view of mutual respect and accountability. Pop culture has often played with this idea as well. Remember that classic sitcom scene where a heated argument between a male and female character turned physical? What was meant to be comedic became unexpectedly thought-provoking, as fans debated whether the punchline, literally, was justifiable. The scene reflected real-world questions about whether standing up for yourself applies to all people equally. Fans of the show split, some laughing and others uncomfortable. This mix of humor and reality makes these moments a reminder of how deeply embedded social expectations are, even when we don't realize it. It didn't take long for equal rights, equal lefts to become a viral trend, inspiring skits, memes, and a flood of commentary. TikTok was especially hot with videos reenacting or discussing these scenarios, each one taking the conversation further. People joked, argued, and created scenarios testing whether men would or wouldn't respond when provoked. Some skits were lighthearted, showing both men and women laughing off minor confrontations, while others took a darker approach, asking viewers to decide what they'd do in a similar situation. The online world didn't just watch, they joined in, turning equal rights, equal lefts into a cultural moment. Social psychology weighs in. Why does this debate matter? But what makes people so invested in this debate? Social psychology might have an answer. Psychologists argue that viral trends like equal rights, equal lefts touch on our basic beliefs about fairness and reciprocity. The question isn't just whether it's okay to fight back. It's about whether we think one group should be exempt from accountability. Studies show that when people witness perceived inequality, even in a light-hearted context, it triggers a deep-seated need to restore balance. That's why some viewers are so passionate about defending the idea that everyone should face the same consequences. It's not just about gender, it's about fairness. The legal perspective. Equal in the eyes of the law. When it comes to law enforcement, things get more serious. Legally speaking, most countries don't differentiate based on gender when it comes to physical altercations. Self-defense laws apply universally. However, in practice, social expectations often influence whether someone will press charges or not. Some argue that strict legal consequences could discourage people from lashing out impulsively, no matter their gender. But at the same time, others believe the idea of treating every confrontation equally ignores complex power dynamics. Lessons in mutual respect. Beyond retaliation. One angle that often gets missed in these conversations is the idea of mutual respect. While equal rights, equal lefts focuses on physical equality, there's a deeper conversation about setting boundaries and understanding respect. Many of these viral clips could have ended differently if mutual respect had been prioritized from the start. Learning to de-escalate is something we could all benefit from. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. Not whether someone deserved equal retaliation, but whether we can learn to resolve things without needing it. Where do we draw the line? A final thought. So here's the big question we're left with. Where do we draw the line? Should we hold everyone to the same standard of accountability in all situations? Or is there room to adapt based on context and personal boundaries? Equal rights are about shared responsibilities, but that can mean different things depending on who you ask. Maybe equality doesn't mean reacting identically, but choosing responses that reflect respect, dignity, and a sense of personal integrity. After all, equality doesn't mean abandoning our own values, right? With that being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, found it thought-provoking, or even have your own stories about this topic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and let's continue this conversation. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.